se quema de amores, cuando se embala su vela, cuando se embala motores. Baila, baila, baila,
So,
baila,
welcome
baila,
back.
baila, baila,
Now, we love that music. Gets us going. We're very happy. It's post-lunch. And I'm glad you're all inside so that we can enjoy each other's company as we take another tour of the greatest and funniest guy from Tel Aviv, Yosi Taguri, who's going to tell us a little bit about how business is really done. After that, we'll be succeeded by a great discussion on living your life. Then we have our Absolutely competition, which would be a tremendous fun, and that's followed by a session with Yossi Vardy and Tim Kring and Gideon Raff. And after that, we have Absolutely. And then we have Siberia, and in between we have prizes, we have raffles, we have other great companies in our Fast and Cool program. I want to tell you we've had over 90 companies this year who have come to talk, to present, to show what they can do. It's been a whirlwind tour. We have XCon going on. We want to thank our sponsors. For those of you who want some presentation advice and suggestions, we have a wonderful woman named Edith with red hair. She's standing near our Executive Connection Zone, and she'll be happy to give you some tips on presentation as well. We have Wi-Fi in here, and please be tweeting or Facebooking or writing long, involved emails that require all your concentration, only using your thumbs. And more than that, we have great networking and wonderful people with whom I hope you're getting to know them individually. And with that, I'd like to bring up Yosi Taguri.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi. Can you put up the slides, please? Thank you. What? I'm gonna move around. That's the only way to keep me shut up. It's putting this in my hand. So I'm Yosi. I'm 41. I was born in Ashkelon, just 10 miles out of Gaza, in a really rough and shitty neighborhood where everything was with drugs and, bad people. And I fucked up. I fucked up everything I touched. Usually they bring to conferences those big names like Jeff Palver, and they have big exits and Wikipedia page named after them and everything, and they bring me. Everything that I touched failed. I'll give you an example, right? I have 4 girls. I'm completely fucked. Seriously, I really tried. You could see, no twins, no nothing. I really, really tried. And if you go to howtofuckup.com, that's mine too. And I'm actually going to tell you a sad story. Sad story about the first time I got fired. So it was 2007. I was working at Microsoft at the time, and I left Microsoft after a few years to work at a company called Nuconomy. Nuconomy, we had an analytics tool. We competed with Google Analytics. It was urgent back then, and it was amazing. So I was the first employee. I was the VP R&D with 2 Israeli entrepreneurs, and we got an investment. We got an investment from this guy. You probably know this guy, right? It's a pretty simple way to get money from Yosi. No business plan, yeah? If you send him a business plan, you're fucked. He will never talk to you again. And you basically say, Yosi, I want you in. And he says, guys, you have my permission to go to any other investor you know and get a better deal. And we said, no, we want you. No, Yosi is Yosi. And it's a very simple term sheet. 2 pages, you sign it. You have $100,000 in the bank. Awesome, right? He doesn't care about, it's amazing. He's not here, he's not listening, right? So, he also got called one of his friends, which is Sir Martin Sorrell, and he said, Martin, he actually spoke with Mark Reed, who works for Martin, and said, Mark, I just invested in company, I think you should invest too. CEO goes on a plane to New London, 4 hours presentation, $2 million in the bank. Awesome. And we started piling up customers, and it was amazing. We had all the Israeli traffic, web traffic went through us, all the e-commerce, 1-800-Flowers, cooking.com. It was amazing. We generated $0 per month, right? We enjoyed it. It was awesome. And we were working, and 18 months went by, and we almost ran out of money. So what do? You start raising again. So we talked to WPP, and they say, guys, don't worry about it. We want to buy you. It's awesome. They want to buy us. It's your main investor who already knows you, wants to buy you. It's amazing because they did the due diligence. What could happen? So we start to negotiate. We send our lawyers, Jewish, right? Lawyers with their lawyers, also Jewish, right? And they started to negotiate for 3 months. They negotiated and we ran out of money. We had no money in the bank. And we said, I can smell the exit. I hear the music. It's awesome. I can smell it. We can work without salaries. There's an exit. And 3 months went by. And we were without salaries, right? And then we got the call from WPP. And they said, guys, we want you to come to the US to sign the deal. Awesome. I got the plane ticket, $3,000 from New York to Tel Aviv and back. I said, guys, $3,000 is a lot of money. Who sold you this ticket? In Israel, we negotiate everything. Give me the name of the agent. I'll speak with him. We'll get it with half, And he said, no, don't worry, Yossi, go on the plane. Everything will be fine. We go on the plane. I go to my coach seat. The stewardess said to me, where are you going? I said to my coach seat, I said, no, you're in business. I said, me? In business? Are you sure? And I felt completely uncomfortable. It was so much space and 3-course meals and champagne and petit fours. I highly recommend flying business. It's awesome. And I get out of the plane, and this guy with a sign says, Mr. Taguri is waiting for us. And I took a picture and I sent to my mom and I said, Mom, look, somebody called me Mr. Taguri. I couldn't believe it. And he took us to this huge limousine. The last time I saw a limousine was Dallas and JR. And he got us in. He opened the door. We got in. They had little bottles of alcohol everywhere. It was amazing. And he said, where do you want to go? I said, wherever you want to go. We don't care. It was awesome, amazing. And they started taking us to places. It's the first time I saw, the real corporate America. So where you want to go? Let's go for a stand-up comedy. So this is Robin Williams. They got us, tickets in 2 minutes. It was amazing. And they took us to eat things. I have to tell you, non-kosher food is awesome. and they took us to Peter Luger. It's huge steaks. You know what I'm talking about, right? And I for the first time, I drank whiskey. I hate whiskey, right? They have $60 shots of whiskey. I got drunk out of $60 shots. It was amazing. And because, my wife called me and she said, Yossi, is the deal signed? And I said, yes, the deal is signed. And I go back home and I see 3 new friends at home, Jimmy Choo, Versace, and Gucci. My wife started buying shit, right? I said, fuck it, we can do that. We made the exit and we started looking for a new house. We had 2 kids, a bigger car, and they said, guys, we're WPP. You cannot work from your shitty office in Yehuda Levi, 4 floors, no elevator. We have, big clients. We want to bring them in. And so we started recruiting. We got the best office in Tel Aviv. And we started recruiting. And when WPP says to you, recruit, it's like anybody that walks on 2 legs and knows how to program is a candidate. Everything goes, right? So we started working, and a month later, we sent them emails, and nobody replied. And we called them, and nobody picks up the phone. And we said, shit, right? And it turns out that Sir Martin Sorrell, which I really love, decided to roll back the deal. And I said, he can do that, right? It turns out that he can. Right? And I wanted to call him and say, Sir Martin Sorrell, would you please buy for me the pairs of shoes that my wife bought from your money? I don't have any money. And we were fucked. We were basically 4 months without salary and no money in the bank. I'm not coming for money. I have 0 in the bank. And I remember me sitting with my wife, eating hummus in Kerem Atemanim, in Shlomo Vedoron, and my wife is crying, she's in tears. We went to the ATM machine, and the ATM wouldn't let us money. We didn't give us money. It was 50 shekels, it's like $10. It wouldn't let us money. And she was in tears. We had nothing. And it was awful. And a week later, we call up this guy, which is a saint. It's Tal Bar-Noach, who probably you know. And I said, he sold the company in a week to another company called LivePerson. Right? You probably know LivePerson and Robert Lucasi, which is amazing. And I started working for LivePerson, right? He bought the company. And coming from Microsoft, I knew how a big company works. And these guys had 200 people making $120 million at the time, which is pretty nice. And it didn't work out for me. I looked at them, and every meeting was like a conference. Everybody's speaking, and no action's been done. And it drove me nuts. And I went to them, and I said, guys, this is what I want to do. First, in the first 5 minutes of every meeting, we are going to decide what we are going to do if we don't decide anything else, right? The second one, we're making too much money, guys. Let's do the following. Let's take 4 teams of 4 people. Let's give each team $20,000 with a few constraints. One of them, they have 1 month. They have to spend all the money, and they have to be out of the office and come back with something. What could go wrong, right? The worst case, they will come with something that doesn't work. Amazing. We know that doesn't work. But maybe somebody will get back to us with one little stupid idea that would change everything. And they looked at me and they said, interesting. You're fired. Now, I don't know if you ever felt what it is to be fired. It doesn't matter how much your mother loves you, how many friends you have, how much money you have in the bank. You feel like nothing. This was the last time I got fired. I am my own employer, right? Except for my wife, who can fire me any day. So that was the story of LivePerson, the last time I was fired. I will just finish with one sentence that Yosi said to me back then, which is, the number of possible failures for any entrepreneur is finite. Eventually, you won't fail. Thank you very much.
Pienso que un sueño parecido